So today we're going to be looking at the Rogansphere and the Oakersphere. It's a collision happening right now. We got, of course, the legendary Big Jay Oakerson and Luis, Jay Gomez, of course, on Rogan. Jay was actually on Rogan not too long ago by himself when he was promoting his specials, and I'll be honest, it wasn't the greatest podcast. It was kind of bland, and if you guys know Big Jay Oakerson's kind of comedy, it's not really kind of mainstream as big as Joe Rogan's comedy and group is, but of course, Big J though is a great comic. I think a lot of his followers and his fans are gonna have a good laugh. This is a great episode. So we're gonna be just looking at a couple of clips. It's a long, I think it was 3 hours. It's a 3-hour video, 3-hour podcast, and I went through it. And there's a couple of points where I thought it was funny, but there's also a lot of it that wasn't funny. A lot of just back and forth. And I really just kind of want to touch on some of the funny stuff. And yeah, so let's go ahead and watch this.
Because they just stop working.
Yeah.
Also, if you blow a tire, like Tesla has to come fix that.
Really?
Yeah.
That right there. So, yeah, soak that in. We're going to come back to that point in just a little bit. Let's watch a little bit more.
I don't know. But it's like they have to come handle
The
it.
function of Teslas, though, is amazing. Dude, they're amazing. They fucking drive themselves. You press you're like, where do I go? Doot, doot, doot.
You trust that?
100%. And I go, doot, doot, and it just
You did put up the number of the dealer, though.
you put up the dealer's number?
No. But that's what I did. I would go up and down the beach, and I'd get a free sample of cocaine. I'd go to the next guy, get another free sample of cocaine, go to the next guy. And I just did that all night until they caught on. They were like,
Until you were the leader of the cartel.
Yeah, they can get you for RICO charges now.
Yeah, that was the Cabo Comedy Festival, the shittiest comedy festival ever, like a decade ago.
Cabo Comedy Festival.
Then at the end of the night, I fucked like a 70-year-old woman. She was gross.
Luis
Still hotter than the girl we brought to the UFC in Philly.
Was she?
No.
You've hooked up with a couple of hilarious ones.
Old
on the
ladies?
thing. Yeah, just like, I think on Shiprocked one year, you hooked up with a fucking doozy.
Oh, yeah, she had like a really thick smoker's voice. It's like, come to my cabin.
Jesus.
You're a little bit locked in on a cruise, especially a heavy metal cruise.
Oh, yeah.
Of heavy metal from the 90s.
There's no hot chicks on those cruises.
Cruise?
Yeah, we did a thing called
Shiprocked. I've done it
Shiprocked.
a bunch.
Dude, I was watching this documentary today on the Black Sea where all those cargo ships wind up sinking. Have you ever seen ships going across the Black Sea?
Mm-mm.
It's apparently like the most dangerous part of the ocean to cross.
For Luis, where's the Black Sea? Because I see his eyes are crossed.
That right there. I mean, they were pitching the joke about the ugly women, the old women. Luis is fucked. And Joe Rogan was not having it. He was not letting them fucking get the jokes in. I mean, he was so fucking ready to change the topic. The Black Sea, who gives a fuck? Let's talk about Shipwrecked and the fucking old ladies Luis is fucking banging out. But I mean, you could just see Joe Rogan's reaction right there. He was just quick and ready to fucking re-guide him. He was not having it on his podcast. So here's the thing. They're going to go on and on about this for a couple more minutes. And just watch how this plays out for these guys. Joe is not really laughing at, much of Big J's jokes. But Luis is really the backbone holding in that laughter for him. Because, Joe Rogan's giving him the fake giggles, the ha-ha, the hee-hees. But, I mean, Luis is the one that knows how to, throw in the assist. He's known as the point guard for a reason, So he brought him with him this time, and they're fucking shooting the shit. But Joe Rogan's still not feeling him, and these guys are deep into the podcast already. And, it's great to see him kind of start let loose a little bit. But right now they're about to go into a very big, if it's not the most perfect car commercial ad you could ever want. I mean, I don't know. Let me see what you guys think about this. But let's see what they're saying.
Phones are lighting people's cars on fire. Indian Coast Guard battles massive fire and container ship listed off Krella. I don't know. I don't think this is the one.
It's in India.
There's another one, Jamie, that is that's UVs. It's all UV cars.
Isn't there theoretically
think it's a
people in some of
different
those cargo things?
Cargo ship carrying UVs on fire.
Isn't
Or
that how they
EVs,
get?
sorry, EVs, not UV. Sorry,
Is that just the wire, or is that how they get people over sometimes? And there's people sometimes in those cargo things?
Oh, yeah, no, that's real. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So that's filled with electric cars. I wonder whose cars they are. It just says EVs. It doesn't say... if it was Teslas, it would say cargo ship filled with Teslas. They would throw Elon onto the bus for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the electric car.
They're great when they work. It's just like... if you have them plugged into your house, it's the shit.
Well, you need it
You
more-
never go to the gas station. You just plug it in when you go to sleep at night. It's easy.
I think you need your car to be more reliable than your phone.
Well, they're really reliable. The thing is about driving them, like Teslas, they never fuck up. I've had three of them. I've never had a problem.
Really?
Yeah, nothing. I had one problem with like a windshield wiper motor. It was simple.
Do you get rid of them because just it's time? You
It's
just
a
get a new
lease.
one?
I got a
So
lease.
you get a new one, yeah. Okay, so it's not like,
Yeah.
you're not like, shit, this thing's starting to peter
No,
out.
no. Well, they make them better every 3 years.
When do they peter out? What's the death of a
Good
Tesla?
question. You can get them, that are many years old. It's just their batteries degrade slightly over time. So, like, if it first comes from the factory with 340 miles, after like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, it's probably got 280 miles or something like that.
So that's all. It's just efficiency kind of goes down?
Yeah, but for driving around town, like if you're just taking it to commute, it's easy. You just plug it in when you go to bed at night. You don't ever have to go to the gas station again. It's silent. They move faster than anything you've ever driven.
I mean, how quickly do you get a return on investment? Because the amount of money you save in gas has to be like...
I don't know about that.
I'm wondering about the miles things. That's what I'm saying. I remember, like, when I was a kid, and you remember this too.
These guys have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. Cars this, the mileage, the Tesla this, blah, blah, blah. They're just trying to stay afloat. Let's see what else.
They would say, oh, like Hondas are the best because you can get 200-some thousand miles out, 300,000 miles. I don't think that even exists anymore that a car's supposed to. I think once
Toyotas.
Still?
You buy a Tacoma. Those motherfuckers will last forever.
I got a Ram.
The reason I got the Acura was because...
Last forever.
Yeah, my buddy, Nick Rochefort, shout out Nick Rochefort, great comic, and he was like, dude, trust me, he was like, get an Acura. He was like, it'll last 250,000 miles. I'll give it to my kid when he graduates high school. Like,
My friend Matt Farah had a Lexus with 1 million miles on it.
Yeah, that was the other option too. He said, get a Lexus or an Acura. Those are the two that have the greatest resale value and also just the shelf life of the car.
I got a Ram and a Jeep, America.
Fuck yeah.
And me and other Rams are like this, and we laugh at Toyota Tacomas. Get that little stupid rice burner out of here.
I've had a couple of those Lexus SUVs, the 570s, the LX. Fucking great car.
Yeah.
Great. Comfortable as shit. Big. It's like, it's so smooth.
I'll tell you.
Never fucks up. Never. They never have problems.
Don't buy an Audi. I'll tell you that much.
Why?
I just totaled my Audi, and it
wasn't the Audi's fault.
It was a fender bender. It was literally a fender bender.
That fender was going, dude. That fender was softened up by all the other fender benders.
Dude, I was like, for sure this is just an easy repair. They came, they're like, yeah, this is totaled. Each headlight is like $5,000. It's insane.
How much is your car worth?
The car I bought it at $70,000 when it was new, and then
How long ago was this?
I had it for 4 years, and then it depreciated. It depreciated in value to like $25,000, and the damage was like $22,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, most of that was to take off the airbrushing you put on the side, you Puerto Rican dumbass.
That's fucked.
It was crazy. I was so bummed.
You know what's a great...
Jay really wants to be in the Rogansphere, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So let's see what else happens.
Yes, just fucking.
Well, it's a big pain. It's a big moment to have in comedy. I said a few of them when silence doesn't scare you anymore, or just I could talk into a microphone, especially for 15 minutes, under any circumstance. You know what I mean? Like, it'll suck if it's a terrible. They're already booing. Go out in the very beginning. There's no one there, but like, I'm not afraid of the moment.
Doesn't it suck when it's like,
that's a big thing to get over, and that's what being scared for the moment.
When you're
That's why I
headlining a
said
show in the first
overseas the first time. I was like, do they even understand English here in England?
Dude, the first 5 minutes, if you're doing a headlining set that's not going well, and you're like, oh fuck, it's gonna be another hour. God damn it.
Are you a long time guy, or do you try to do like when you headline something?
I do an hour.
An hour.
Yeah, especially if I'm on the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, 2 hours and 50 minutes, and now they're talking about Joe's stand-up. What the fuck?
I don't really have an hour right now, so I'm like putting it together. I think last night I did 50 minutes, and like some of it I keep forgetting my new stuff.
He said he did 50 minutes. I could be hearing that wrong, but I call bullshit. Wipe your head off, little boy.
It's a lot of new stuff because it's all since August.
Sure.
He's nervous. He's wiping off. He's scratching his fucking head. He knows he's lying.
And I took a couple months off where I wasn't doing stand-up at all. I was like, let me just refresh my brain. And then I hopped on, started doing other people's shows. Then I had some old bits that I'd never put on the special, and I started bringing them back and piecing it together. But it's like you got to have a real set before you take that bitch on the road. You can't think you could have like a club 45 minutes and go do an arena. Like if you're gonna do an arena,
yeah, for sure,
you gotta have a real set.
So I work out in the clubs on the road.
Have to,
particularly. I mean, like, but it's.
Burr said that back
it's
in the day.
preparing for a special, really.
Burr said that back in the day. We was talking about someone's special, and it's like he didn't do the clubs. And he's like, he's right. Like this person, like some persons, they start doing theaters, big theaters, and they do real well, and they just keep doing that only, same opening act every time. Crowd wants to see them, and you develop it's like a soft act.
Yeah, it's no good.
Yeah, not good. You need clubs, man.
Yeah, but Austin's great for that as well. So what you did down here is you've cultivated like comedy fans that want to see edgier shit. They want to hear fucked up jokes. New York and LA, they don't really like if you're just going on a random pop-in set at the Stand or the Cellar or the Comedy Store and just some random show and they don't know who you are. You start doing fucked up shit, they get very tight. Very tight. Like down here, like you go in the main room of the mothership or
And watch how this plays out, because Luis is really trying to give Joe his flowers, as they say. I've heard that phrase tossed around, but he's trying to throw him some fucking points, some credit, whatever it is. Joe's he's the man as far as it goes as Austin and that whole scene. But Joe really didn't like Lewis's promo. He wasn't a fan of his promo. But let's see what he says.
I mean, they're comedy fans. They're like legit. Yeah. It's become like a comedy destination, kind of how like, people go to New Orleans for jazz.
Well, this town doesn't seem to feel like it has the same responsibility to like correct bad behavior on stage that New York has and LA has sometimes. Like they want to let you know that you're out of line. They don't want you talking about a certain subject. It's like
did you think there was going to be when you opened the club? Did you like foresee the dissension stuff that happens just within the scene? The people that don't work there bitching about that it's for this reason, and the people who
it's a walled garden,
and everyone goes, they got in there because of this, and I'm not in there because of this.
They have a walled garden perspective. You see a bunch of people having a good time, and you're not involved. Well, fuck those people. It's normal. Sure. It's a natural reaction that people have to like this intimate community of people that are all friends that are having a great time. It's normal to hate it. Yeah, but it's not all wild comedy. There's a lot of like really clean comics that come here that kill.
Sure.
Like Vecchione is fucking pretty clean. He's hilarious.
He's squeaky clean sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, he's on
hilarious.
Nate's,
he's like Nate's one of Nate's guys. So yeah,
and murders at the club.
He's a beast.
But it doesn't matter. It's just funny. It's just whatever kind of funny you're into. Holtzman comes and destroys.
Yes,
I'm not saying I'm not even saying the booking's like one dimensional anyway. I'm just saying that did you even foresee there'd be comics that were going to be eventually like club sucks anyways?
I don't hear about them.
You stay away. I guess it doesn't make its way to you. They wouldn't. That'd be stupid.
You're going to have people that complain about anything that they're not involved in.
Sure.
They're going to decide it sucks. Like, how could it suck if you've got 2 days of open mics? How could it suck if the comics get paid more than anywhere else? How could it suck if it's entirely set up for comedy? How could it suck if it's super supportive of the comedians?
What's the path?
Gives them a path.
What is the path for the young comic in Mothership?
There's a real talent coordinator. Adam Egan's a real talent coordinator. So he sits there and he watches your set. He gives you advice. He'll have you come back and do it again. He'll give you spots on certain shows. They start developing comedians.
And it's like anything else. Like, this business is about being likable and getting people to want to watch you succeed.
Yeah.
Where it's like you'll get your opportunity if all the other comics are like, yo, this guy's funny, you should take a look at him. I've seen that happen directly. Can I get the lighter again?
Yeah. Well, we have it set up for development. Like, the whole idea is, like, you want to develop new talent there. And Kill Tony's the best vehicle for that ever. You know, if you have a banger minute on Kill Tony, you could become a fucking star. And if you could reproduce that every week, like
59 times.
kind of crazy that some of them have to do that. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible writing exercise.
It's kind of crazy.
Sure.
The advice that I would have given a young comic, 15 years ago, I was a young comic at the time too, but it's like, I would be like, do not be on camera for the first decade that you do comedy. Develop and act first. But now a lot of these guys they have the opportunity. It's like,
but can it be detrimental if you really eat shit on it? And you're like a 3-year comic?
I don't think people remember people bombing on Kill Tony where it'll be detrimental to your career.
It could be. But, it could not be. If you bounce back and have a great set the next time and the people love you. I've seen that happen too. Look, you're taking a risk when you're doing a new minute every week. There's a real possibility you might have a dud.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're new to the game. You've only been doing it 4 years. You got some talent, but,
I genuinely don't know. It's an interesting thing when I did do it, essentially at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
When you guys were there. It's an interesting thing to try to whittle down in your head, like, what the fuck is
just a minute? Yeah.
Yeah, but they were all pumped to see you, so it was easier.
No, of course. That's that arena atmosphere too. It's like it's our game to lose.
The Garden, I think, was like the best arena Kill Tony show. Like it was really cool. I went both nights, and whatever it was, like they were just the crowds were so lit on watching those shows. Like nobody got booed. There was no problems. Like super supportive.
Super supportive. Well, some people got booed. There's people that bombed.
Did they?
Yeah.
A couple
people.
I think someone went right before me.
Yeah, a couple people bombed. It's fucking hard to do, man, and it's fun to watch someone just go out there and fail sometimes. It just it makes the people fun. It makes the people that succeed look better.
When I do Kill Tony as a panelist, I love watching somebody bomb. It's my favorite thing because then you just trash them. You get to fucking make fun of them. I thought that's when we started doing the show. I've been a panelist on Kill Tony. I think I might have the number one amount of times, like 25 times I've been a panelist. And when we started doing it, like back in the day in the Comedy Store, in the belly room, the most fun we would have is when somebody just had a hot one, and then we would just fucking trash them. It became way more supportive now. Like the whole show format is like really like Tony trying to put guys over. But back in the day, we were just mean. It was just like a mean, evil fucking thing. It was so fun. Yeah.
It evolved. Those belly room days were wild. Because, like half the crowd would be like comics.
Yeah.
There was no one there. It was fun. But he kept doing it. I mean, he fucking did it over and over and over again until he honed that motherfucker down like a samurai sword.
Yeah. No, I'm super impressed with it. Like, Tony's the man. But that show itself is like...
I think it's inspiration even for like Story Wars. It's a very different show. It's just the idea of like the live...
The format and that's...
Skanks has always been a live show, but the development of Story Wars has been very like...
Well, it's also easier when you have a format. Like, we literally just set the table and then play, and it's like we don't have to really do much. Like, when you're on a podcast like this or like Skanks, you have to actually kind of like be a little bit more present and like just sort of like you're trying to connect with the comics in a different way. When we do, it's like a game show that we created, and it's just super formatted. So it's just kind of easy to just
plug and play funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys, by doing...
That right there. Plug and play funny. I mean, that's a good fucking tagline for Story Wars. Plug and play funny. But I mean, let's be honest here. If you guys watch or listen to anything these guys put out, like, Joe Rogan I think he's tried to do Kill Tony. But even then, he doesn't really participate all too much. He just kind of steps aside and lets it, roll out. But, I've actually heard on the bonfire that Jay mentioned specifically that they had invited Joe Rogan onto Story Wars, and he denied on the basis that it's not his thing. And it's a very funny thought to say, that he'd have them on his podcast, but he will not do theirs on the sole basis of it's not his thing. So, I mean, it's a great show. If you haven't seen Story Wars, I highly recommend it. But let's see what else they got to say.
Skanks, just by the name itself, it like opened up the door to wild comedy. Because it's like, what you're getting into. The show's called Legion of Skanks.
Well, this was a brilliant idea that Jay had. Like our secondary tagline is the most offensive podcast on earth, and it's not. There's more offensive podcasts, but it lets people. I think this is the reason we've never gotten in trouble is because you know exactly what you're going to get.
Right.
It's great. Like for anybody to come.
Why would you watch this if you don't want to watch the most offensive podcast?
Yeah, how are you going to
stay
complain
away.
about it? You look like an idiot if you start complaining about it.
Exactly.
Adam Carolla had a great analogy about it when he did our show. He said, he was like, "This is what why you guys get away with it." He's like when Snoop Dogg goes to the Grammys, Snoop Dogg goes backstage and he lights a blunt. And nobody's like, you can't smoke back here. It's like, you invited Snoop Dogg. You know what the fuck you're going to get, right? And it's the same thing with us. I think people know what they're going to get with us. And we sort of just, play and have fun and do our thing.
Well, you give an avenue for comedians that's like, where people know what they're going to get. And obviously people flock to it. I mean, Skankfest sells out immediately.
Yeah.
It's because people love the vibe. It's fun.
Skankfest is not sold out, but Luis is too much of a coward to tell Joe that it is not sold out. These people still got tickets. I mean, Skankfest is still a bit of ways away, and that is not helping them. It's definitely not sold out. There's definitely tickets left. So Luis is just not saying anything.
It's fun. We're not here to take ourselves seriously.
Also, broadcasting has done something for comedy. It's pretty amazing. That I think broadcasters like the Howard Sterns, they had that all the time. It's very interesting when you meet the people. They know you inside and out. They know the time you told a story about the thing that you fear the most, and they know whatever. And I had to get used to stuff like that where they'd be like, "Hey, is your daughter picking a college?" And you go, "The fuck you?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess I." And you're like, "Oh, I guess I talked about that on the radio this week."
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
It's weird. You can forget that there's an audience out there sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You forget sometimes the things you say have weight to them.
No, absolutely. We found out the hard way. When we started out, who knew what this was going to happen when we started Legion of Skanks? We started Legion of Skanks pretty early podcast times.
Yeah,
not
14,
thinking about it.
14 years ago?
Don't you think even now sometimes you say things you're like, I shouldn't have said that.
No, unless it's I don't.
Yeah.
I don't unless it's about a person. Like sometimes it's about people.
That's what we learned. We learned to stop making fun of retarded children on the internet because they have families. Well, we do sometimes, but I've had to apologize to multiple families of mentally handicapped people because we've done bits on the show, and I mean, we've gotten into where they would come to me and be like, what is wrong with you? This is like a child that has like Down syndrome. We're like, we had no idea that they.
But then they get on the phone with Lewis and they're like, I didn't mind. It was funny.
The problem is,
didn't that happen? Didn't someone say to you? They were like, I know you're kidding.
Well, no, twice now that happened, and both times I ended up becoming very friendly with the family. They came out to see me at shows. They brought the kid.
Oh, now it's your burden.
Because
that's the problem is like you're saying things with your friends like you would normally say.
Right.
Yeah.
No laugh whatsoever on Joe Rogan's part. I mean, that was a great punch by Big Jay Oakerson right there. He knows how to fucking just switch the fucking conversation back and forth, upside down. He just shakes it up. You never know what's gonna happen. He made a fucking joke about Down syndrome. Joe Rogan, not a peep, nothing. Luis had to back him up on his fucking jokes, man. I mean, that's what happened the last time Big J was on Joe Rogan. Did not go well. I mean, he just the punchlines don't flow as nice and crisp as they do when he's got Luis on his side.
Then you don't realize.
Ron Bennington calls it corner talk. Just corner talk with the guys.
But there's a real person on the end of these stories sometimes, and that's the thing. The only thing that's changed is I think in the beginning we would just say whatever. There'd be a silly story, and now I'm going like, well, all right, is this person going to hear this? And it's just a normal person who's like, their parents are raising a special needs kid. It's a tough enough life as it is.
Buddy, I felt terrible last time I came in here when you talked about. I was like, hey, there's that video going around of that girl freaking out, and I was just going like, yeah, it's just like she wasn't ready for this moment, but I went through. Didn't say the name on purpose. And there's so many videos on the internet that are like, Jay takes a shit on this girl.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's not what I did.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes you say things because you're just talking, and then you realize, like, God, that other person's going to hear that. I did that recently, and I'd like to apologize to this guy. There's this guy named Flint Dibble, who's an archaeologist, and I said, he attacks other archaeologists like Graham Hancock, and he says some terrible things, but what I did was very counterproductive. What I said was, like, these weak, bitchy men. and I named him. I'm like, and then he tweeted about it. He said, I have stage 4 cancer. And I'm like, fucking forgot he had cancer.
Oh.
I didn't mean him physically. I meant his behavior, but it made me feel bad. So
Well, you guys got a bitch body that's been
I want to
taken over
tell
by
him
cancer.
I was wrong. What I said, I shouldn't have said. There's sometimes I say things and I just think I'm talking with friends, and I realize it's going to hurt someone's feelings on the other. And it's counterproductive. Like, I'm doing the exact thing I'm accusing him of doing. He's attacking other people. I'm attacking him. It's stupid.
And we can be funny with anything. You don't need to like.
But I wasn't even being funny. I was talking to an archaeologist. I got angry at this process that sometimes like established archaeologists are attacking these people who have legitimate ideas. But I shouldn't have done it that way. And you just
Like
sometimes
archaeology
you're
is your one
talking.
passion.
No, it's like I talk about a lot of different things, but I talk too often like I normally talk. Like sometimes when you're talking about like a serious thing, like you probably shouldn't insult people. It comes normal. Like, fuck that idiot. Like it comes out.
Sure.
And you go,
Yeah.
shouldn't have. You know?
Yeah, we do that all the time.
You
We're
get
like,
loose. You get a little too comfortable
Well,
talking.
can I tell you also, that's the smart move I said that Howard Stern did years ago that I'm trying to get better at and do. When you think something's ridiculous, praise it, and then use it, and you could show everybody without having to make fun of it themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, right.
They'll make fun of themselves.
Yeah.
That was the
you can
core.
definitely do that. Well, I do that sometimes when I'm questioning people, and I know they're not telling me the truth. And I'll say, wait a minute, so what you're saying is, and so I don't even have to, like, say, that's ridiculous,
You're just
that's fucking
acknowledging,
bullshit.
yeah.
I just let the internet have it. You know?
Yeah, you go,
You know what I
really?
mean? Like, Epstein didn't kill himself? You know, like that kind of a deal? Like, okay.
That kind of a deal, or within the first 15 minutes, Big Jay Oakerson mentions that the only person that can fix a tire on a Tesla is Tesla. I mean, come on, Big J. Listen, I mean, they're not sending Musk on each tire call, man. Doesn't know anything about tires. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that was pretty much it. This podcast really did not go as well on as well as they thought it would, but let's see it play out. Let's see what happens.
You know, like, let the internet deal with this. I'm not going to deal with this. This is like, I can only be so pushy. You know, when people don't want to talk about a specific thing or want to give you an answer that you think is pretty much gaslighting you, you're like, okay, so that's a real UFO? All right. You might, I have people come in here all the time that I know are bullshitting me. I know they are. Like, I feel it, and sometimes it's just like, all right, what are you going to do?
You'll call them sometimes.
Sometimes, but like sometimes I don't know.
Who was the guy years ago you had an argument with? But it was, again, sometimes when vernacular causes the problem. I feel like at the time you were just like in a rhythm of saying the word bitch at the end of a sentence a lot, and you said something, you're like, come on, bitch, you can't think that way, bitch. And he was like, you're calling me a bitch a lot. You're bullying the shit out of me.
Who was that?
Was it Crowder?
Oh yeah, that's right. There was a weed conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
you're
thought
like, come on,
I was
bitch.
talking
He was like,
to him like a
bitch.
comedian,
Yeah,
like he would just go along with it, and he got genuinely offended.
He was like,
and
you
I was
called
like,
me a
I didn't
bitch. And I feel like
mean
you're
that.
bullying me.
Yeah, we said we were bullying him because we were.
I mean, this is the part Joe Rogan was waiting for from the start. Let's be honest. This was what he was looking for all along. Let's hear it, guys.
Boys, should we wrap this bitch up?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's bring it home.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Are
very
we
much.
officially in the Rogansphere now?
Yeah, you're in. Come on, man.
God,
You were
dude.
always in.
All right, you said it here. So
You
we're
were
here.
always in. What the fuck are you talking about? We just don't see each other enough.
Please watch my specials.
Yes.
Them day, both
yes,
available on
they're
YouTube.
awesome. Anything you got?
Yeah, check out Story. It's mine and Big J's new podcast, Story Wars, which is great. And yeah, I got a book actually. You know what?
You wrote a book?
I'm writing. I'm almost done with it. It's coming out December 2nd. It's pre-sale right now on Amazon.
What's it about?
It's my childhood memoir.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it starts off with
What made you want to do that?
a dude who wrote other books was like
Knives and Spoons,
yeah,
a memoir.
he was like, hey dude, I can get you a book deal, and I was like, really? And then I started working with him on it, and yeah, it's been good. It's dark. It's funny. It's fucked up. It's about just my fucked up childhood and finding comedy.
I always admire someone who can write a book.
Yeah.
Like I always admired Norton. He's written a couple of books. I'm like, damn, you wrote a whole book. Like actually wrote a book.
Norton's a man. Norton's in town right now.
Yeah. He's here Friday.
He's doing Story Wars tonight.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Where you guys at the Creek?
No, we're at your club.
Oh, you're my club.
That's how little Joe knows about his
Fantastic.
own club.
What time is it?
This is our path.
7:30 and 10:30. Why don't you come, Joe? Why don't you come on Story Wars?
Oh, I don't have any good stories.
That's
I used them all up.
You-
I used them all up. I've had 2,500 fucking episodes. I've used them all up. I
You
have
don't need
nothing
good
left.
stories. I'll tell you all.
There's gonna be something that goes. Once on an archaeology journey, I'm like, oh, this is Joe. This is definitely Joe. I think this one's Joe.
One time I was talking to the director of the CIA. He's like, well, that must be Joe.
Took out a black bear from a helicopter with a crossbow.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
It was a
man.
lot of fun. Thanks,
Thanks,
you.
Joe.
All right. Bye, everybody.